Hello. For the past 5 years, I've been diligently cleaning up my energy and emotions.
Cleaning it out?
Cleaning it out, cleaning it up.
Has it been painful?
Sometimes. Mostly joyful, though. The inner beings of my birth family, friends, and coworkers have noticed that I have wonderful, coherent energy to the point that they're energy vampires. Then I feel drained. How can I continue to purify my own energy while preventing others from claiming a free ride?
Well, when you are really in alignment with the stream, it is infinite, and no one can ever take so much that you would feel any deficiency. In other words, when you're really tuned in, tapped in, turned on, there's no such thing as an energy vampire, because that implies that there is this limited, quantifiable amount of energy, and that like oxygen in a tank. And if you get too many people breathing on your tube, then you'll be out. And it isn't like that at all. It's an infinite stream. But we think what sometimes happens is you get yourself into alignment because it's easier to do when you're off by yourself. It's easier to control your thoughts and to project your attention into places or areas that make you feel good. And then sometimes when others enter your environment and you give your attention to them, you let their vibration become too big of a vibrational factor in your own. And then you lose your connection and you associate it with them because it happened in response to your now giving your attention to them. You see.
So the point is I need to focus on my own clarification?
What we really want you to hear, all of you, relative to everything that we're talking about here today, we want you to focus with an ear to the ground, so to speak, as how it feels while you focus. We want how what you're thinking feels to be more important than the subject of what you're thinking. Esther watched the presidential debates. For heaven's sakes. And her excuse was, I want to be informed, or I think it might be interesting, or I might want to sway the effect of it in some way. And then she watched the second one, and we said to her, when you found out how watching the first one made you feel, why would you dive in for more? And it's because Esther and almost all of you use many things as your criteria for what you focus upon in your now other than how it feels. And we want how it feels to be the first priority and everything else to fall into place long after that, you see. And so sometimes out of commitment or obligation, you engage with people or you interact with them on some points. And so you can get a vibration pretty active in yourself that goes against the grain of the vibration of your source and of the intent that you hold and all of the good stuff that's there for you in vibrational escrow. But you just have to care more about how you feel than anything else and guide your thoughts accordingly. Can you give us an example and we'll show you what we mean?
Well, it resonated when you said something about obligation. Things like that. I work for an energy company, oil and gas company, and yes, it's ironic, I know.
Well, they believe in shortage, but it is economically to their advantage, so that's why they do it. In other words, they actually contrive shortage in order to economically benefit, but don't let their contrived shortage make you think that the universal energy stream has any potential of shortage. It is infinite and expanding.
Well, actually, we find I find natural gas, and there are lots. We keep finding more and more, more and more.
There is no shortage
of
that or anything.
No. I guess one example is that I notice that when I'm focusing on something and I have an alignment in a particular topic that I'm interested in, a technical topic, that someone will come in. I'm thinking one particular individual down the hall, and he'll come in and talk and engage, and then he'll leave, and then I feel totally drained afterward. While it was an interesting topic, it was off what I was thinking.
You see, your vibration in any moment is where it is. So let's just start with that starting point. Whatever's been happening, you are where you are. So let's say someone enters your environment and they cause you to focus upon something that they are living, that they want to live, that they are living successfully, that you want to live, that you are not yet living successfully. So the conversation activates within you an awareness of a desire that you hold that you are not right now a vibrational match to. That would give you a feeling of discord. But in that sense, you were not in the vibrational place you thought you were. In other words, all they did was, through their conversation, speed up your energy of desire, and the vibration of belief where you are now sticks out like a bigger sore thumb. It's the same story as when you are driving a car 100 miles an hour and it hits a tree. It's a bigger problem than when you're driving a car 5 miles an hour and it hits a tree. So sometimes, if you're not aware of how you're really feeling, you're just percolating along. You've got your energy going in a certain way. You're feeling the way you're feeling. And then someone else enters the experience. They have the potential of talking about something that inflames your desire, which points out your discord, or they have the potential of beating the drum of something that's lower in vibrational alignment than where you are. So in any case, any time that you feel worse after a conversation with someone else, or even a thought of your own, than you did before, it's one of two things. Either one part of your vibrational relativity has received more emphasis, which has made your guidance system kick into higher gear. Are you getting the point of this vibrational relativity? Do you get it? That the reason that you feel emotions at all is because there is a vibration that is your source, that is really who you are, that is giving you this steady vibrational current all the time, and that your thoughts are moving around, giving you that feeling of separation or closeness. Can't you feel in the emotions that you would call negative emotions, things like despair or fear, can't you feel that emptiness? Can't you feel that it is a sort of absence of the fullness of who you are? Don't those emotions feel that way to you? The reason that they feel that way to you is because when you choose a vibration that does not allow the fullness of who you are to be present in this moment, then you don't feel so good. So now let's go back to the beginning and see what you're saying. So you're saying, I can feel sometimes that when someone else enters into an interaction with me or a conversation with me, that something happens then in my vibration that keeps me from being as fully in alignment as I was before they got there. And we say, well then, after that happens, after the fact, you can say, well, I don't want that. I know what I do want. I want to be in more control of my own vibration.
Use that for leverage then.
Say again?
Use that for leverage.
Use the contrast just like you use all contrast to help you to identify more clearly what you do want. But you could potentially have a negative conversation in which makes you want to have better conversations, and then have another which makes you want to have better conversations. You could go on like that indefinitely. People do that where they have an experience that they don't like, which causes them to launch a clear rocket about what they do want. But if they don't do anything about cleaning up their vibration in order to match the rocket, then they just stay in that more and more uncomfortable place. And there are a lot of people who say, I don't want to be around people at all because I can't control the way people behave. I can't control what they think or what they want or what they believe or even what they say to me or what they want from me. But when you get it, that you don't have to control what any of them are doing, you just have to maintain your own vibrational alignment no matter what they're doing. And the best way to maintain your vibrational alignment relative to other people is to maintain it about them when they're not around. Because if you haven't practiced maintaining your vibrational alignment about people when they're not there, you're certainly not going to be able to do it when they are there. So when you talk about cleaning up your vibration, we're out of time here, but give us a very quick example of someone who disrupts your energy.
I think a better comment might be to say that this is actually probably a smaller problem than saying that I've been able to use the comment that you had in Ask Annuitives given about asking non-physical beings to help in this same project. I'd asked for that in my meditation. And now the project, which originally had probably 150 people, now has probably 400 and is ever expanding. And so from that standpoint, I was able to allow, with the guidance that you had given, in a way that everyone has a similar desire.
Well, the thing that we most want you to hear is that when you get it out of your mind that your work in co-creation with others has anything to do with their behavior. In other words, just give that up because you can't control their behavior. They don't want you to, and you couldn't do it even if they wanted you to. In other words, so just give up any idea that you're going to control anybody else's behavior and just make up your mind that you can control the way you feel about anyone in your own thoughts. In other words, you can control what you choose to focus upon about any situation or about any person. And so we think it is a wonderful thing when someone comes into your experience and you feel less good after they got there than you did before. We think they've given you a wonderful gift because they've given you an opportunity to realize that your energy can easily get out of balance, that you can easily be dissuaded to something that is not in alignment with who you really are. And as you experience by experience, person by person, bring yourself back to feeling good, bring yourself back to feeling good, in time, what they're thinking and what they're saying and what they're doing will be irrelevant to you. In other words, they can be contrasting data that helps you to get clearer and clearer about what you want, but who they are at any point in time has nothing to do with you. When you get control of your own energy field, between those 2 points of vibrational relativity, you have control of your life experience. And then, just as you said, the people who then law of attraction bring to you will be those that will please you when they get there. The law of attraction is always bringing to you those who are a vibrational match to what you've got going on. And so it sounds to us that you are a bit like so many people who are letting your vibration be about what you're observing. And so you're observing all over the place, offering a vibration all over the place. So law of attraction is bringing you a bit of everything, and a bit of everything is not a match to the specifics of what you are wanting. You'll hear much more as we are moving forward. We're just getting started on this business of vibrational relativity. Before this gathering has come to completion, you will understand it as well as we do. And then you will have the rest of your life to practice yourself into vibrational alignment. And it is so much fun to get an idea and line up with it and then watch everything in the universe conspire to bring to you the manifestation of what you've lined up. It is so exhilarating to feel within yourself your alignment or misalignment. In other words, that's the molding of the clay. This is the fun stuff. You keep thinking that the fun stuff is getting to the manifestation. That's fun too, but not nearly as fun as the process of molding things into place.
I should also say that I work closely with a geophysicist, and we use seismic data. Seismic data is acoustic waves into the ground, so it's all about frequency.